Hi, I'm Nikki O'Keefe and I'm an ATD internal facilitator. I facilitate programs on e-learning instructional design as well as a software articulate storyline. And I want to dive into a bit more around the tool articulate storyline. I'm utilizing 360 and share one tip that I really like. It's how we can utilize the content library images to produce beautiful backgrounds for our slides. So let's jump into it. I'll give you a tour of what I find so fascinating. So here we are on the Articulate 360 website, which contains the content library. And as I have a scroll through, you'll find that we have images and videos which, as they're highlighting, are really easy to find. The searchability is great, and they have tons of different options. So there's no need anymore to go out there to the World Wide Web to try to find something because they're all fully integrated into our programs. So that's just a little preview of what is available. So I always like kind of heading to this site first to just remind myself of what's there. And they have icons as well, but today for this tip, I'll just focus on the images. So what I've done in some of my previous projects are use the images to create the background of the slide. And that just allows it to give it some more personality and life. So for example, I have one I'm working on that is doing a bit of a knowledge check here. And rather than just having maybe the question, I wanted to add a bit of an environment to the back. So I just grabbed a city view from the image library and put it on the back of that slide. Another example is to simulate an office environment. And this is Oliver's office. And here we see that that is just laid on the background, and then he pops out like he's standing on the front. And that again is pulled from the content library. So now let's get a view of how we could actually make this happen when we're in Storyline. So I'm just going to open up a blank slide. And today, we can go with any kind of content that you'd like. I always say it's great if you want to participate along with me to give it a try. So we have to add some color and personality to this slide to bring it to life. Of course, as a designer, we want to make sure we have the whole design in our head before we start building out one piece, but I'm just trying to give you a snip of what this would look like. So we're going to head to, actually, the new slide is a great way to get to the content library, or you can, from when you have your slide already in blank view here, you can hit Insert, and then this is where the content library is kept. So if you want to do a photo like I'm suggesting, you would click on Photos, and then from here you can search for anything. If we want to have, a wintry background, we could set that as the backdrop. And it's so neat because you get the preview before you actually select. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that one. And now that has popped just directly on the slide. We can play around with that sizing, or we could leave it as is. I like to just make it the full size of the slide. You of course have all of your different picture tools. And then a feature that I want to point out is how we can actually play around with the transparency. Because I think sometimes we forget about this. So if we have our photo here, we may want to make it a little bit lighter or darker depending on what we're trying to put on top. So look, if we just play around with that transparency, it instantly kind of previews there on the slide. So if I did want to put some text on there, maybe I make it a little bit lighter, and then I can add some black text. So I'll go ahead and close that out. And then from here, the options are limitless, but you could even add a question directly on top. I was talking about, adding some text. So maybe I just want to add some text directly to the slide, and I won't get too crazy with my verbiage here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what we would do. We start then laying everything on top of the image. So that's my tip for today. Don't forget about your content library. It already has a lot of great photos there, and they can become beautiful slide backgrounds. Thanks, everyone.